I hope everything is well with you. The video for today is brought to you by a viewer who left me a lengthy comment that I will read and then analyze. Hi, I recently discovered your videos. A marriage search on YouTube is not worthwhile. I was instantaneously a lifelong fan. I was thinking to myself while viewing that video, is this guy talking about me? I'm a 29-year-old medical student in my final year. During my first 2 years of medical school, I struggled with confidence. It was most likely because of my ongoing struggle. Jane moved in with me because her rent had expired, and she promised to pay me half the rent and split it. Blinded by love, I concurred. My third year of medical school was every bit as difficult as it appeared on television. Jane used to work 12 to 15-hour days at the hospital, 6 to 7 days a week. So I had to clean the entire house, from the floors to the dishes. Jane grew slow and had inconsistent work hours, yet she always paid her rent on time. She eventually acquired animals. She couldn't afford them and expected me to look after and pay for them. She would slash herself on her thigh when her difficulties were really difficult. She declined to consult a therapist or psychiatrist about her issue. She'd go to a psychiatrist to get her adrenaline and Xanax prescriptions filled. She always got a bigger amount of Adderall than she needed in order to sell the extra tablets. I realized she had an opiate habit that progressed to a heroin problem. Rent has ceased coming in, so I begged her to go. We battled until she had enough money to pay her late. Throughout it all, she refused to get treatment for her addiction. She had enough of her science major a few months ago. Despite being a super senior, her study habits were inadequate, and she had failed freshman chemistry 4 times. When I could, I attempted to assist her with her studies and told her about chemistry. It's not like other classes where you can study all night and get an A, but she never listens. Our most recent major disagreement occurred after we discussed our future plans. I informed her that I would not marry her because she was emotionally unstable. I believe I would have had a more measured reaction. I should have confronted her about her obese Cadillac behavior. She's not overweight, but you get what I mean. When I asked her to pay the rent or leave a few weeks ago, she refused, and I had to take time off from my clinical obligations to deal with her. But it was well worth the reprimand from my attending physician. When I returned, he stated he understood and would not report me to the School of Medicine for missing my obligations after I explained my circumstances to him in a one-on-one discussion. Men who work full-time are criticized for not doing enough cooking, cleaning, and housework. When women advise males to man up, they are effectively projecting their own troubles onto a man's brain. They secretly desire to tell ladies about themselves. However, it is easy to blame their issues on men. This is instead just black. Don't feel bad about leaving Jane. Women like her need to hit rock bottom before they realize how rotten they are, because she's most likely a narcissist. She needs to wind herself on welfare or on the streets before she wakes up. When persons with narcissistic personalities have problems, according to my buddy, the psychotherapist, they have no one else to blame but themselves, and they begin to look inward and realize the mistakes they've done. Some argue that women do not end up on the street because society will not allow them to hit rock bottom. Let both men and women hit rock bottom, in my opinion. Another intriguing thought is to imagine if people could just survive off their own earnings, with no inheritance or stealing from others. Can you imagine the number of homeless ladies on the streets? Jane destroyed her life. So you might feel sorry for her and save her like Captain Safe, who you were supposed to be in a white lab coat as her doctor. And I'm sure she couldn't envision you kicking her out the way you did. So many other women who believe they have a man in their emotional grips. When he leaves them, they can't wrap their head around it. They believe their manipulating abilities are exceptional. That's all for now. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I'll see you next time.